Hi, I'm Nicole Bartley, Managing Director, Fashion 911 Limited. I used to help my husband on the road selling hardware items, and I wanted to do something for myself, you know. So I used to do clothing and textile when I was in high school. So I said, you know, you like clothes, so why not, you know, try buying and selling something for yourself. You know, when you're young, just leaving high school, it's hard to get a job that pays well, you know. So that's what led me to, you know, trying this for myself. So we go way back before Fashion 911 existed. I used to sell from my home. You know, people used to come there and, you know, try on stuff, buy things. And so Fashion 911 actually started in 2006. We do a wide range of products, mainly women's shoes, clothing, accessories, handbags, underwear, swimsuits. We also do men's clothing as well, shirts, shorts, jeans. Well, my market is everybody who wants to buy something. That's the market. So you find that now people, young girls from as early as 12 years old to older women that are like 60 come here to shop. So you're really trying to cater to everybody who wants something that's trendy. I told you about my husband, right? We were selling on the road together. So he actually gave me my first 1,000 US to start, right? So that was the funding. I used no other funding since that. The money was used to purchase women's clothing, mainly clothing in the beginning. That's what we started with. The business is profitable. We tend to reinvest, for growth, we tend to reinvest back the monies into the business. So you find that you started at one point, as you gain profits, you go into something different. That's how we expanded into shoes, we went into accessories, handbags, we started the men's, so we tend to put it back into the business for growth. We decided on the location for our business because we used to sell from home, so we know that a homely environment works. So this location, 16 Windsor Avenue, it's a semi-commercial central location. So when it became available, we came and we looked at it and it felt like home. So we decided to, let's try it, you know, because we wanted a boutique style, somewhere that people can go, be comfortable with the parking and, you know, not be exposed to all the elements of the plaza and that kind of thing. So we decided, you know, let's try it. So we have another location at shop number 13, 7th Avenue Plaza. That one was started like 6 years ago, just to get a different clientele. The traffic is heavy. A lot of people, when they're going home, it's convenient to stop because we open from 10 to 7 in the evening on Monday to Thursday, and Fridays and Saturdays we open 10 till 8. So you find that when a lot of people are going home, they say, okay, let me just stop by and see what they have. Initially, I started with family, you know. It's good to have people who are supportive in your business. And then, you know, by having family, then you put out the word, you need another assistant. It's really by word of mouth, you know. So I knew somebody who I said, you know, hey, I need somebody. So they recommend. And to be honest, we kind of keep it very tight. So it's really like I have 2 employees now. Both of them are sisters. So we kind of keep it more family knit here. In terms of hierarchy, I don't tend to be a very authoritative kind of boss. I'm more laid back, that kind of way. That's my personality. I don't tend to want to hold a whip per se over people. I just expect that I'm gonna say, okay, this is what your job is and this is what you're supposed to do. You have your moments when you have to say to them, listen, you have to tighten up, but I'm not gonna do it in a way that's more authoritative style. I'm not that kind of person. Our typical work hour is typically 8 hours. So whereas somebody would start at 8, we start at 8 to 5, we start at 10 to 7. It's just a 2-hour difference in the day. We normally come in, we start up the store, clean up, prepare ourselves for a busy day, do the little things that we need to do. Customers come in, we deal with them at the same time, and we move on. I would say being an entrepreneur affected me in a very positive way, because you find that you have to grow. As the business grows, you grow with it personally. There are different attributes to yourself that you never knew you had that comes out in different circumstances. I mean, I'm not a person with lots of friends, so the good people, they do stay. So it didn't affect my friendship. Family life, I mean, working as an entrepreneur, your hours are, longer than normal. But I've learned to strike a balance between the two. You have to take your days off, for sure, because your creativity can't come out if you're not rested. So you learn, as I say, it's a process that you go through and you learn along the way. What sets me apart from other clothing stores is, I would say, the location and the customer service. Hi, how are you? What are you looking for today? People are very comfortable coming here. You have ample parking. That's number one. You don't have, all the guys on the plaza bothering you. You come in, you can come inside. The atmosphere that is here is very warm, and they like coming here. So that too has to do with the customer service that they get. So I tend to be in my business a lot. So they like coming, asking my advice on what to wear. It makes people happy when I say, okay, that is nice, you can buy that, So I think that's the main thing. The location and the customer service is very important. When you pray about stuff, they come to you in different ways, I tend to really, you ask God for new ways of doing things, new ways to improve your business, and it comes to you. It comes to you sometimes when you don't even realize that this is what you're doing, and after you've done it, you say, whoa, this is really something else, So different ways. I dream about stuff sometimes, and then it just comes, like you just end up doing it and not realizing that was you doing until after. The strongest marketing tool is word of mouth. That is the actual strongest, and that's why for us customer service is so important, because nothing brings in a customer like somebody going out and say, you know what, I got at Fashion 911, I got these shoes for $500. The word of mouth, that convincing attitude when another pleased customer is telling somebody about you, that is one of the strongest things, and that in its essence has built our customer base. Some of the challenges that I've faced is mainly importing goods into the country. The customs duty, it's high, So sometimes when you're bringing in stuff, you have to kind of hold back on what you really want to bring in, so that you can manage to clear your merchandise when it actually gets here. You know, so that is one of the main things. You know, I've had situations before where I've bought stuff, like being in Miami, and there shopping, and you have a rental car and you have some goods in the rental car, and this is your last stop now. Coming home, your hand luggage is in there, my bag is in there, everything. And when I go back to the car, there's no merchandise. You know, somebody actually stole everything. Well, not everything that was bought that day, you know. So I've lost stuff like that, but in everything, perseverance is the key. Failures, I haven't had any failures so far, because growth has been slow. So you take your time to do what you know you must do. So I don't think I have failed at any point yet. We prevent damage control by implementing rules that all of us here have to go by. You know, like for white clothing, you know, women who wear makeup, you can't really try white. So we don't try on white clothes. That's part of it. If a customer goes away and comes back and says something was wrong, we make sure that before they leave, you know, the item, they try on the item is good. We make sure that that is okay before they leave here. So we have policies that are in place that will take care of all of that. Sometimes we use our discretion, because we know that sometimes, you know, when things are made, they're probably not made perfectly. So if we see where, you know, the person didn't actually wear it, and something really happened to it, then we would take it back at that point. But before, we try to make sure that everything is okay with the stuff. Your growth for me is slow. It's, to me, you're more stable when your growth is slow and steady. So the more you move up, you sturdy yourself first before you move on. That's always been my policy, you know. So in terms of growth policy, I just take it year by year. I would say you plan for the next year. I don't implement a policy per se to say, okay, next 5 years I'm gonna be there. I don't do that. You know, I just take it one day at a time. If I see that there's an opportunity that comes up and I can make the most of the opportunity without affecting the businesses that are already existing, then I will go for it. I'm not gonna get up and say this year is a New Year resolution, I'm gonna go for something, because things just come into your life as you're ready for them. We use marketing tools like Instagram, Facebook. We use emailing systems as well. Good customer service and word of mouth is really the one that really gets people to come to you. When somebody actually tells somebody about you, that is like the strongest, most effective tool that you can actually have. If you know the internet is the way to go, then you try, open up yourself to it, learning how to use it, that kind of thing. I'm not afraid of work, so I will do any and everything in my business. It comes from cleaning the store to helping the customers, you know, to managing the funds. So to be a good entrepreneur, you have to be very versatile, you know, and you have to love what you do too. That's another thing, you know. So you would probably do, I'm not gonna say anything, but you will do, or I would do what it takes. I believe that there are certain attributes that you have to be successful. First, you have to have the mindset that no matter what you do, or no matter what happens around you, you're going to succeed. That is like the most important thing, you know. There are other things that you would need to do. You know, you have to get up, you have to get moving. That is too. You can't say, okay, I started this business, so I will just leave it to the employees and, you know, make it run itself. You have to be more involved, you know, even if you're not in the business every day, but you're in the business in another way, you know, like being in the background and making sure that everything is okay. You have to know that you have to know how to manage money as well, you know, because you don't want to a case where, okay, you're making a little money, so you're going to spend the money that is not rightfully made to spend. It must go back into the business. So you have to be a good money manager as well to be a successful entrepreneur. Each person is an individual. So to me, there is no blueprint to being a good entrepreneur, because everybody has a different way of doing things. I define success by the feeling that I get. You know, the feeling of fulfillment from whatever you do. It don't have to be in business. It could be your family life. It can be your friendships. It can be just enjoying the beach. Wealth is a part of success, having money, but it is not the entirety of success, because a lot of people are financially wealthy, but otherwise they're not happy. So to me, success is a wholesome, you know, feeling. You can be happy if you have $100 today, you can be happy, and if you have $1 today, you can be happy. That is real success to me. When fear comes up, you actually have to put a little faith in it. You know, you have to put a little faith in yourself, knowing that whatever you do, whatever you set your mind to, it's going to be good. You know, I mean, a lot of people ask me, how do you manage? You know, things are so competitive, but once you put your efforts into what you're doing, once you love what you're doing, then you will know that at the end of the day, everything is gonna be okay. You might have a rough month, but you just have to stick it out, you know. As I said, perseverance. You have to persevere, you know. Once you love it, you'll stick to it. That's the main thing. Money motivates me. It does. It's good to have money so you can, you know, do it, the stuff you love doing. But also seeing the customers happy too. You know, it's motivating, you know, because you have a lot of times when people come to you, they feel not so hot today. They say, come to get some retail therapy. So, you know, they come to you because they feel welcome here. So at the end of it, when somebody is happy leaving, that motivates me as well. I've been my own greatest inspiration, you know. Knowing the person that you're coming from to the person that you want to be, that's like the most motivating thing, you know. I mean, I see a lot of business people around that I admire, like Michael Leachin, you know, he's built an enormous business. That's really awesome. But I would say that the main person who keeps me going is really me, you know, wanting to be a better person overall than the person I was yesterday. The greatest aspect of being an entrepreneur is really working for yourself, knowing that you did this, you know. I mean, with the help of many, you know, workers, my husband, family support, but it's really knowing that you did this. My success is most attributed to consistency, you know, getting up and going when the things get tough. You get up and you go every day still, you know. You have to make sure that there's always stock here, something for the customers to buy and to love and to feel happy about. That is the main thing. My most satisfying moment in business was when I always said I wanted a department store, you know. And when this Windsor Avenue was separated into 2 spaces when we came, but the other tenants decided to leave, so we actually opened up the space, you know. So that is what I did, you know. We have a swimsuit section with underwear in that section. We have a shoe section. We have a different section for work clothes. We have a different section. So it's like my department store, you know. So I think in that moment, when I realized that part of my dream, I think that has been the most satisfying moment in business. In my non-work time, I like to do a lot of stuff. I like the mountains. I like going there. I like the beach as well. I like working out. What makes me the most happy? Good relationships. That's what makes me the most happy, you know. Here at Fashion 911, we've had many customers or clients that have become like family, you know. When they come here and you see them, it's like they work here. People think they work here. They're selling, they're doing everything, helping you to price goods. When boxes come, they're opening boxes. Having good, strong relationships, that's the thing that makes me the most happy. The sacrifice that I've had to make the most of is really time, you know. I tend to spend a lot of time in the business, so I'm not home as much as I would want to be, and I don't get to spend as much time doing the things that I love. I love being here. I tell you, this place feels like home, you know. I love being here, but it's a sacrifice you make being here as opposed to, say, being at home with your children or your husband. You know, the sacrifice not being able to go up in the hills on a Saturday, sacrifice not being able to go to the beach on a Saturday, as much as you would like to, I would say, because it's not like I don't go, but because, you know, Saturday is a busy day and, you know, customers look forward to seeing you and that kind of thing. I don't take as many Saturdays as, you know, you would like. My staff doesn't either, because Saturday is a shopping day for most people, so everybody have to be on deck most of the time. My plans for the future is to be diverse, you know. I want to explore new things. I want to open a big shoe store. I love buying shoes. I love shoes myself. That's the, you know, every woman have a little thing. Shoes is my thing. Now, I won't say shoes neither. Sandals is my thing. So I want to open a big shoe store. You know, you bring in containers of shoes. You know, that's one of the plans. I also want to, you know, do some real estate. You know, you have some real estate that you develop, and you know, you have those a lot of things going through my mind. I also want to open a homework center for kids, you know, that the children that are not able to, you know, have access to internet and computers at home and certain books that they would need, that they would come in free of cost. You know, because I believe that if you educate the children and you put time into them, then you'll help to mold a better Jamaica, a better community, a better world, you know. So that's one of the things that I wanted to. That's like, you know, that when I think of that, it put a smile on my face. the advice I would give to people starting or having an existing business is to just persevere, you know. Consistency is the key, you know. Just go on ahead, believe in yourself that no matter what happens, things will happen every day. You just have to take a deep breath and decide that you're gonna move on from this. You know, the road get rough sometimes, but at the same time, it's good and it's fulfilling at the end of the day when you say, okay, you've overcome all of these things, you know, and you've built this from scratch.